Now let's talk about some of the benefits of listing REO foreclosures. You guys have the ability to list dozens, if not hundreds of REO properties for essentially one single seller. Now you have the direct benefits from getting those REO assignments, but there's also other indirect benefits that we'll discuss right now. Now for one thing, if you are listing enough of these properties, you're not gonna have to spend any more time with the traditional seller going on traditional listing appointments where you may or may not get that listing. Now the next thing, if you don't want to, you do not have to necessarily do the traditional real estate tactics like open houses, spend a ton of money on mailers, knocking on doors, cold calling, social media, and the like. The third thing is, think about all the countless hours you spent driving people around, wasting not only your time but also gas money, driving people around, opening up doors just to later to find out that they flaked out and never bought a piece of real estate from you. You could, if you wanted to, eliminate that part of your business or even grow a team, which we'll talk about later on. The fourth benefit of listing REO properties is they are predictably going to sell. In my experience, I only had one real estate asset that did not sell. It was actually located just outside of Marco Island in South Florida in a community called Fiddler's Creek. And for whatever reason, the asset management company we were working with had this institutional lender as a client, and unfortunately they just were not motivated. They were not listening to us about price or feedback on any kind of showings, and we had that property listed for almost over a year, and eventually our asset manager ended up firing that client, and we never took any more assets from that client. The next benefit of listing REO properties is you have the ability to create a team. Look, if you guys are listing distressed assets, and many times they are priced competitive and they're priced really well for the market, you're gonna have a lot of people contacting you and a lot of people that are not necessarily working with real estate agents. So let me just paint the picture. Let's say you have 10 assets that you have active on the market, and you have your signs out there, you have your marketing out there, you have bandit signs, distress assets, and you're receiving all these phone calls. Eventually you're going to want to maybe hire a buyer's agent, and that buyer's agent can field and take on all these buyer calls, all these buyer leads to maybe sell that asset or sell them on something else. And then that's something that you can create with your team, your own negotiation. But let's say, for example, you had a team of 1 or 2 buyer's agents that you have enough business to continually feed them. You might put them on a 50-50 split with you, and let's say your average commission is $7,000 gross commission. You're sitting back collecting $3,500 every time that they do a sale. They're completely happy because you're feeding them business, and you're completely happy because you're leveraging other people and doing little amount of work to ensure that you're receiving these referrals from your team. The next benefit in listing REO properties is you have the ability to really grow your sphere of influence, your database of people, and a lot of people that are going to be reaching out to you are probably investors as well. Because in my experience, a lot of times these properties are not just distressed, but they are in rough shape. And sometimes they're not even financeable, so you will need an investor to come in, pay cash, and then flip it out. So you might build a book of business with potential investors that might just trust you and be loyal to you to find them other real estate assets to invest into. The next benefit of going after the REO market is the ability to create residual income and grow a team around doing broker price opinion. But it's a great way to generate consistent revenue, grow a team, and also produce additional REO listings. Another benefit in listing REO properties is you got listings. So there's a lot of things, not just promoting the listings, but you have the ability to do open houses, generate more buyer and seller leads from open houses, as well as have your team out there holding these open houses, have branded open house signs with you and your company and your team name on those open house signs, which will actually lead into getting even further listings in those areas of concentration where you do have REO listings. And to add on to that, I always say that listing breeds listings. And I've always been taught ever since I got into the business, if you list, you last in the real estate business. And I couldn't agree more, because when you do have listings, you are leveraging your time as well. You're leveraging a lot of things. And now you can create your team, or you can do it yourself, where when you do take a listing in a certain neighborhood, certain community, you can do mailers. You can generate more business by getting more listings and just state that you just listed this property, and you can go and knock these doors. You can also knock these doors or even do just sold mailers and tell everybody in the neighborhood that you just sold that property. This will generate more listings for you guys if you guys are consistent with these tactics. Also, I have a lot of articles pertaining to just listed and scripts and everything else on my website. It's realtorlife.com. I'll spell that out for you guys as well. I'll also put a link in the resource section for you guys as well, so you guys can read up on a lot of these different tactics for promoting the listings that you guys have.